Welcome, everyone. I'm excited to kick off our presentation today. Our topic is cells, energy and building blocks, foundation of life, created by AI. We'll explore what makes life possible at the cellular level, how energy powers living things, and the fundamental building blocks of life. Over the next few slides, we'll dive into these fascinating concepts and see how they connect to make life as we know it. Let's get started. All right, let's take a quick look at the contents of this presentation. Starting from the top, we have amino acids. These are the building blocks of life, essential for constructing proteins that our bodies need for growth, repair, and overall function. Next, we move to the energy system, specifically ATP, which is the main energy currency our cells use to perform all their activities. Then, we'll explore the parts of a cell and their purpose, so we understand what makes up these tiny but incredibly complex units. Following that, we'll look at the types of cells in the body, highlighting the diversity and specialization that allows our bodies to function effectively. We'll also define what a cell is, establishing a fundamental understanding. And finally, we'll introduce the overall theme with an introduction, the tiny unit of life, setting the stage for everything else we'll discuss. This structure helps us see how each part fits into the bigger picture of life and biology. Welcome to this part of our presentation, where we focus on what I like to call the tiny unit of life. This slide is all about understanding the fundamental building blocks that make up all living things. When we talk about the tiny units of life, we're essentially referring to cells, the smallest units that can carry out life processes. Cells are incredibly important because they form the foundation of all biological structures and functions. Without them, life as we know it wouldn't exist. Every organism, from the tiniest bacteria to the largest whales, is made up of cells. Understanding cells helps us see how life works on a basic level. It connects to the overall theme of our presentation, which is about exploring the complexity and diversity of life, starting from these tiny but mighty units. So, as we go through this, keep in mind that these small structures are the key to understanding bigger biological concepts and the incredible variety of life around us. Let's explore what cells are, how our body generates energy, what amino acids and proteins do, and how the body repairs itself. The human body is incredibly complex, but at its core, everything begins with the cell. Understanding cells is essential because they are the building blocks of life. When we talk about the starting point, we're really focusing on understanding these tiny units that make up every part of us. By grasping how cells function, we gain insight into the entire body's processes, from energy production to healing and growth. This foundational knowledge helps us see how all these different systems are interconnected, and it highlights the importance of cellular health in overall well-being. So, what exactly is a cell? Well, a cell is the basic building block of all living organisms. Think of it as the smallest unit that can carry out life's processes. Everything from tiny bacteria to complex human bodies is made up of countless cells. They're incredibly diverse, but they all share some core features that keep them functioning. Understanding cells is fundamental because they're the foundation of biology and help us see how life works at its most basic level. Throughout this presentation, we'll explore how cells operate and why they're so vital to understanding life itself. Now, let's explore how each organ, like the brain, heart, and liver, is made up of specialized cells that have different roles to play. These cells are not all the same. They are tailored to perform specific functions within each organ. For example, brain cells handle thinking and processing information, while heart cells work together to pump blood. At the core, a cell is the smallest living unit in our body. Despite their tiny size, cells are incredibly important because they carry out all the functions necessary for us to stay alive. From producing energy to repairing tissues, every activity starts at the cellular level. It's fascinating to think that the human body contains about 37 trillion cells. This huge number shows just how complex and organized our bodies really are. Each of these cells contributes to our overall health and functioning. So, in summary, cells are the basic living units that make up every part of us. Their specialization allows our organs to perform their unique roles effectively, and understanding this helps us appreciate the incredible complexity of the human body. Let's explore the purpose of cells and why they are so fundamental to life. First, cells are essential for maintaining balance within our bodies. This concept, called homeostasis, is all about keeping our internal environment stable, which is crucial for our survival. Without this balance, our bodies wouldn't function properly. Next, cells play a vital role in protection. They help defend us against external threats like pathogens and injuries, acting as the body's first line of defense. This protective function is key to staying healthy and avoiding illness. Communication between cells is another critical aspect. Cells constantly send and receive signals to coordinate activities across different parts of the body. This cellular communication ensures that organs and systems work together smoothly, maintaining overall stability. Cells are also responsible for building and repairing tissues. Whether it's healing a cut or regenerating skin, cells are the workers that restore tissue integrity and keep our organs functioning properly. Finally, cells produce energy, which is fundamental for every bodily function. This energy powers everything from muscle movement to brain activity, keeping us alive and active. Altogether, these functions highlight how cells are the building blocks of life, working tirelessly to keep us healthy and balanced. They truly are the foundation of our body's incredible complexity and resilience. Let's take a closer look at the different types of cells in the body. As you can imagine, our body is made up of a wide variety of cells, each specialized to perform specific functions. These cells can be broadly categorized into several groups based on their structure and roles. For example, nerve cells or neurons are designed to transmit signals quickly across the body. Then we have muscle cells, which are responsible for movement, whether it's running, typing, or even your heartbeat. Blood cells are another important group, with red blood cells carrying oxygen and white blood cells defending against infections. Additionally, there are epithelial cells that form protective layers on surfaces like your skin and the lining of internal organs. Recognizing these different cell types helps us understand how complex and efficient the human body truly is. Every cell type plays a vital role in maintaining overall health and function, which ties back to our theme of understanding the body's intricate systems. Let's take a closer look at cell diversity and function. Different types of cells in our body have specialized roles that contribute to our overall health and functionality. For example, immune cells play a crucial role in defending the body against infections and diseases, helping us stay healthy. Skin cells, on the other hand, act as a protective barrier, shielding us from external hazards and pathogens. Then we have muscle cells, which are responsible for movement, whether it's voluntary actions like walking or involuntary ones like heartbeat. Bone cells provide the structural support our bodies need, giving us shape and stability. Blood cells are vital for transporting oxygen and nutrients throughout the body, and they also help defend us against infections. Finally, nerve cells transmit signals rapidly across the body, enabling quick communication and coordination. All of these diverse cells work together seamlessly, highlighting how cellular specialization underpins the complex functions of our body, an essential aspect of understanding human biology and health. Let's take a closer look at the parts of a cell and their purpose. Each part has a specific role that helps the cell function properly. For example, the nucleus is often called the control center because it holds the cell's genetic material and directs activities. The cytoplasm is the gel-like substance that fills the cell and supports the other organelles. The cell membrane acts as a barrier, deciding what enters and exits the cell, maintaining the environment. Mitochondria are known as the powerhouses of the cell because they generate energy through respiration. The endoplasmic reticulum helps in protein and lipid production, and the Golgi apparatus sorts and packages proteins for transport. By understanding these parts and their functions, we get a clearer picture of how cells operate as the building blocks of all living organisms. This knowledge ties into the overall theme of how life functions at the cellular level. Let's explore some of the key components inside a cell. First, we have the nucleus. Think of it as the control center of the cell. It contains the DNA, which holds all the instructions the cell needs to grow, develop, and repair itself. Essentially, it's like the cell's brain, directing what happens inside. Next, we have lysosomes. These are like the cell's cleaning crew. They break down waste materials and damaged parts, helping keep the cell clean and functioning properly. Without lysosomes, waste would accumulate and cause problems. Then there's the cell membrane. This acts as the security gate. It controls what enters and exits the cell, making sure only the right substances get in or out. It's crucial for protecting the cell and maintaining a balanced internal environment. Moving on, ribosomes are the protein factories. They take amino acids and assemble them into proteins, which are essential for many cellular functions. Proteins are like the workhorses of the cell. They do most of the work needed to keep us healthy. Finally, we have mitochondria. Think of them as the power plants of the cell. They produce ATP, which is the energy the cell needs to do everything. They use oxygen and nutrients to generate this energy, fueling all the other activities inside the cell. Understanding these components helps us see how a cell functions as a highly organized and efficient unit, working together to sustain life. Let's take a closer look at the energy system, specifically ATP. ATP, or adenosine triphosphate, is essentially the universal energy currency for our bodies. Think of it as the fuel that powers every movement, from the smallest muscle twitch to the most intense workout. Without ATP, our muscles wouldn't contract, and our cells couldn't perform their vital functions. The key point to remember is that ATP provides immediate energy. Our bodies store only a small amount of it, enough for just a few seconds of high-intensity activity. That's why the body has other systems to regenerate ATP rapidly during exercise, which we'll explore later. This highlights the importance of efficient energy transfer within our cells, especially during physical activity. Understanding ATP helps us appreciate how our bodies are wired to produce and use energy efficiently, which ties back to the overall theme of optimizing performance and endurance. Low ATP levels can really take a toll on how we feel. When ATP is low, you might experience fatigue, weakness, and even brain fog. These symptoms are signs that your body isn't producing enough energy. Addressing these deficiencies is crucial because restoring your ATP levels can help you regain your vitality and overall well-being. ATP depends on key nutrients like oxygen, glucose, or fat for fuel, as well as B vitamins, magnesium, and iron. These nutrients are essential because they support the processes that produce ATP, and without them, your energy production suffers. So what exactly is ATP? Well, ATP, or adenosine triphosphate, is often called the body's energy currency. Think of it as the fuel that powers everything we do, from maintaining a heartbeat to muscle movement and brain function. Understanding ATP helps us see why supporting its production is so important for overall health. When our energy systems are functioning well, we feel more energized, focused, and resilient. That's why addressing nutrient deficiencies and supporting ATP production is a key part of optimizing vitality. Amino acids, building blocks of life. Today, I want to highlight just how essential amino acids are. They are often called the building blocks of life because they form the basis of proteins. Proteins, as you know, are crucial for nearly every biological process in our bodies. From muscle repair to immune function, and even hormone production, amino acids play a vital role. There are 20 different amino acids that our bodies use, and 9 of them are considered essential, meaning we must get them from our diet. This emphasizes the importance of a balanced diet to ensure we get all the necessary amino acids. Understanding amino acids helps us appreciate how complex life is and how these tiny molecules have such a big impact on our health. So, as we look at the bigger picture, remember that these building blocks are fundamental to the structure and function of all living organisms. Amino acids are truly the building blocks of life. They play a crucial role in building muscles, which is essential for strength and physical health. They're also involved in repairing tissues, helping our body heal and recover from injuries. Beyond that, amino acids are the foundation for making important molecules like enzymes, which facilitate biochemical reactions, hormones that regulate various bodily functions, antibodies that support our immune system, and even brain chemicals that influence our mood and mental clarity. The purpose of amino acids is to serve as small molecules that come together to form proteins, which are vital for so many bodily functions. Without them, our bodies wouldn't be able to perform these critical roles effectively. When we define amino acids, it's helpful to think of them as small molecules with a huge impact. Despite their tiny size, their influence on our health and well-being is enormous. They are fundamental to maintaining our overall health and supporting the complex processes that keep us functioning at our best. This ties back to our overall theme of understanding nutrition's power to optimize our bodies. Now, let's take a closer look at the different types of amino acids. As you know, amino acids are the building blocks of proteins, but they aren't all the same. There are actually two main categories: essential and non-essential amino acids. Essential amino acids are those that our bodies can't produce on their own, so we need to get them from our diet. Non-essential amino acids, on the other hand, can be synthesized by our bodies, so they don't need to be obtained through food. Recognizing the difference between these types is important because it helps us understand how a balanced diet supports protein synthesis and overall health. This classification is a fundamental concept that ties into the bigger picture of how our bodies build and maintain tissues. Let's talk about essential amino acids first. These are the ones our bodies can't produce on their own, so we need to get them from our food. Foods like meat, eggs, and fish are rich sources of these essential amino acids, making them crucial for our health. Without enough of these, our bodies can't perform vital functions properly. Now, moving on to non-essential amino acids. These are a bit different because our bodies can make them ourselves. Some examples include alanine, glycine, and glutamine. These amino acids play important roles in supporting our overall health, from immune function to muscle maintenance. So, the key difference here is that essential amino acids must come from what we eat, while non-essential ones can be produced internally. Understanding this helps us make better dietary choices to ensure we're getting all the building blocks our bodies need for optimal health. This distinction is fundamental as we look at how nutrition impacts our overall well-being. Let's take a closer look at some of the functional amino acids and their specific roles. First, tryptophan. This amino acid is really important because it affects our mood and sleep. It plays a key role in influencing our emotional state and sleep patterns, helping us feel more balanced and rested. Next, we have tyrosine. Tyrosine is involved in producing brain chemicals that contribute to cognitive function and overall mental well-being. So, it supports our focus, alertness, and mental clarity, which are essential for daily performance. Moving on to glutamine, this amino acid is crucial for supporting gut and immune repair. Maintaining a healthy digestive system and a strong immune response is vital for overall health, especially as our bodies face various stresses. Lastly, arginine. Arginine supports blood flow, which is vital for cardiovascular health. Proper blood flow ensures that nutrients are effectively delivered throughout the body, helping to keep our organs functioning optimally. Overall, these amino acids each have unique and important roles that contribute to our physical and mental health, reinforcing the idea that a balanced intake of these nutrients supports our overall well-being. Proteins and enzymes are truly the machines of the body. They play a crucial role in almost every biological process. Think of proteins as the workhorses, building and repairing tissues, supporting immune functions, and even acting as messengers. Enzymes, on the other hand, are specialized proteins that act as catalysts. They speed up chemical reactions that are essential for life, making processes like digestion and energy production possible. These molecules are highly specific, meaning each enzyme only works on particular substances. This specificity helps keep our body's functions precise and efficient. As we continue to explore how our body functions, understanding the vital roles of proteins and enzymes highlights just how complex and beautifully designed our biological systems are. Proteins are truly the machines of the body. They are essential for so many functions, including providing structure to our cells and tissues, transporting nutrients and molecules, defending against pathogens, sending signals between cells, and facilitating countless reactions. In fact, proteins support life at every level. Enzymes, which are a special type of protein, act as helpers that speed up chemical reactions. Without enzymes, processes like digestion and energy production would be too slow to keep us alive and functioning properly. They ensure that our bodies operate efficiently by making reactions happen quickly and smoothly. So when we ask, what are proteins? We're talking about these complex, versatile molecules that are vital for almost every function in our bodies. And enzymes are a perfect example of how proteins work as specialized machines, driving essential biological activities. This idea that proteins are the machines that drive our body's functions ties into the overall theme of understanding the critical roles molecules play in maintaining health and supporting life's processes. Let's take a closer look at cell growth, repair, and death. These processes are fundamental to how our bodies maintain health and function. Cell growth is essential for development and healing, allowing tissues to expand or recover after injury. When cells are damaged or aged, repair mechanisms kick in to restore proper function. This involves cell division and replacement, ensuring that tissues stay healthy and resilient. On the other hand, cell death is just as important. It might sound negative, but it's a natural part of the life cycle. There are two main types: apoptosis, which is a controlled, programmed cell death, and necrosis, which usually results from injury or disease. Proper regulation of these processes is crucial. Too much cell death can lead to tissue loss, while too little can cause abnormal cell growth, like cancer. Overall, understanding these processes helps us appreciate how our bodies grow, heal, and maintain balance. They are interconnected and vital for overall health, fitting into the bigger picture of how living organisms sustain life. Maintaining balance in our bodies is essential for overall health. For example, old cells don't just stay around forever, they are replaced by new ones. Take skin, for instance. It's constantly renewing itself every few weeks to keep it healthy and functioning properly. Blood cells are even more dynamic. They're constantly being renewed to ensure our tissues stay nourished and free of waste. This ongoing process of cell division is crucial for tissue maintenance and repair. Now, alongside this, we have a natural process called apoptosis, which is essentially programmed cell death. This might sound negative at first, but it's actually vital for our health. Apoptosis helps remove damaged or unhealthy cells before they can cause problems, like cancer. It also plays a key role in balancing growth and death within our tissues, ensuring everything stays in harmony. Together, cell division and apoptosis form the foundation of how our bodies maintain stability, allowing us to grow, heal, and stay healthy over time. Let's talk about nutrition and cellular health. Our cells are the fundamental building blocks of our body, and what we feed them directly impacts their function and vitality. Proper nutrition provides the essential nutrients that support cellular repair, energy production, and overall health. When our cells are well nourished, they can perform their roles more efficiently, which translates into better health and resilience. Conversely, poor nutrition can lead to cellular damage, inflammation, and even contribute to chronic diseases. So, throughout this presentation, we've seen how interconnected our lifestyle choices are with our overall well-being. Paying attention to the quality of our diet isn't just about weight or appearance. It's about nourishing our cells to maintain cellular health, which in turn supports every aspect of our physical and mental health. Remember, small dietary changes can have a profound impact on cellular function and long-term vitality. When cells don't get enough amino acids, vitamins, minerals, or oxygen, it can really affect our health in several ways. You might notice increased fatigue because your body doesn't have the nutrients it needs to produce energy efficiently. Weak immunity is another common issue, making us more vulnerable to infections and illnesses. And poor healing is often a result, as the body struggles to repair tissues and recover from injuries. These effects highlight just how crucial proper nutrition is for maintaining overall health and supporting the body's ability to fight off disease and heal itself. This slide emphasizes the importance of addressing nutrient deficiencies early to prevent these negative outcomes. Let's wrap up with a quick summary of the cellular foundation. Throughout this presentation, we've seen how cells are the building blocks of all living organisms. They are incredibly complex yet efficient, serving as the foundation for growth, development, and overall health. Understanding cells helps us appreciate how life functions at a fundamental level and highlights the importance of cellular health in our well-being. Remember, every larger system or process we discussed ultimately depends on the health and function of these tiny, but vital, units. This connection underscores why investing in cellular health is so crucial for overall vitality and longevity. So let's look at the key takeaways here. First, cellular health is fundamental to overall health and disease. When our cells are healthy, our organs function properly, and our body remains in balance. But when cells start to fail, that's when disease can take hold. This really highlights the importance of caring for our cells because they are the foundation of our well-being. Next, it's crucial to understand the importance of cells in the body. Everything begins at the cellular level. Cells need energy, nutrients, and signals to survive and stay healthy. Without these essential elements, cells can't do their job, and that can impact our entire system. Overall, this reinforces the idea that maintaining cellular health isn't just about feeling good. It's about supporting the very core of our health. When we nurture our cells, we help ensure that our organs and systems function optimally, which is the key to long-term wellness. Thank you for listening. I hope this presentation has given you a clear understanding of the key concepts we've discussed. Remember, the main takeaway is how these ideas connect to the broader theme of our work and how they can be applied in real-world situations. Your engagement and curiosity are what drive progress, so I encourage you to take these insights and explore further. Thanks again for your time and attention.